crisis averted. Speaking of which, I should probably teach y'all how to use Litematica. I skipped a couple of steps, didn't I? What up, my roomies, and welcome back to the technical guide to Minecraft. And today we're going to be going over how to use the Litematica mod, because it's been a bit and I realized that I kind of skipped some steps and completely glossed over how to use this mod completely. So first things first, we are going to need to install Litematica. So first things first, you need to go to Fabric and go to the installations where it says download here. From there, you want to just download the latest file and save it into your downloads folder, wherever it may be. And next things next, you want to go over to the Litematica download page, which you could find in CurseForge. Go down to the recent files and then download the most applicable version. In this case, we're going to be going for Fabric 1.19. From there, what you're going to do is just download file, wait the 5 seconds, and save it into your download folder. From there, you want to go over to your .minecraft, which is located in your app data roaming folder. Go to mods and then plonk it in. Then from here, go over to Litematica download page again. Go open up this link. It'll take you to Libs' download. From here, go down and go to the associated version, click on download, wait the 5 seconds again, and then save it into the same folder that you put the Litematica file in. And if you've done everything right, you should be able to start up your game as normal. And you can double check this by turning on the Litematica file. And next up, after you've confirmed that you were able to turn on your game, go back to your .minecraft folder, click on schematics, and then from here you can save your schematics that you could use in game. The schematic we're going to be using is KigaCore's stone generator, and to understand how that works, welcome to KigaCore, where safety is a concern. Now over here we have a basic stone generator, and how a stone generator works is that when there's water underneath lava, the water then converts into stone, which is super useful when you're trying to create a bunch of redstone components, because cooking cobblestone, 1, takes fuel, and 2, takes time. And so we want to eliminate the amount of time we use by directly getting to the source. Now, of course, you could scale this up by having a longer width and having lava on top. So if we were to push this using this pistons over here, and if you'd notice, it's using quasi-connectivity, we push it forward, and then from here, using a Silk Touch and Fish C5 pickaxe, you can quite easily get all of this stone. It's pretty simple in its design, and of course, there is a way to automate this. So over here, we have a basic redstone comparator clock, and it's perfectly timed so that when the water turns into stone, it'll push it forward. Let me demonstrate. So let's turn this on. You can see that more and more stone is being pushed out. Very simple in its design, but 4 stone every so often is not fast enough, so of course, you could put 1 on the other side. Using precise timings, you can make it so that after this one goes, then this one goes, and it'll keep alternating back and forth so you can have a better timing between the two. So let me demonstrate. Let's turn this on. So as you can see, the left and right side take turns on which one is going to push stone forward for you to harvest. But even with this upgrade, it's still way too slow for our purposes. There's got to be a way to make this faster, and this is where beacons come in. See, beacons at first give you haste, but a fully powered beacon, or a beacon that has 4 levels, so 9, 7, 5, and 3, is able to make a fully powered beacon, which will enable us to have not just haste 1, but haste 2 as well. And when it comes to stone blocks, and I'll demonstrate real quick, and with having a haste 2 beacon in conjunction with an efficiency 5 pickaxe, regular stone can now be insta-mined, thus giving us more potential to harvest more stone. So then, let's say we had 4 of those generators all at once. That way, instead of having 5 or the 10, we could have 20 harvestable at one cycle. So let's turn this on, and you'll see in a moment how it works. Because all the timings are more closely knit together due to the fact there's 4 of them, you can see quite easily that we're getting 20 per rotation, because it's going left, then top side, then right, then top side again. Because through redstone timing, you can have it so that the bottom left, then the top left goes, then the bottom right, then the top right goes. You can have a really fast harvest just by using basic redstone timing. So the 5 that you had before, now we can get 4 times more in the same amount of time. It's really that easy. For those that want to play around with this build, you can check out the schematic in the description below. And for this episode, we're going to use Litematica to do a block-by-block tutorial so that we can understand exactly how to use Litematica. So let's get back and get to it. Quick interruption. I noticed that only 12% of you are actually subscribed to this channel. Watching this long, I must be doing something right, so if you like this video, hit that like button and please subscribe to this channel. Any support helps, and these videos take a bit long to make. Thank you so much, and back to the video. So as a personal point, I prefer not doing block by block tutorials because they skip over understanding exactly how a farm works, and so when it breaks, most people don't really know how to fix it because the block by block tutorial only shows them how to build it, not necessarily knowing how exactly it works. But for this one, we're going to be doing a block by block tutorial To better understand how exactly Litematica works, to open up Litematica, press M on your keyboard. From there, if you've already placed your schematics in, it'll be in the load schematic portion of the Litematica GUI. From there, scroll down, and in this case, we're going to be using the Key Core Stone generator and load schematic. Now, depending on your settings will dictate how the Litematica file will look like. In my case, it looks like a transparent hologram, but this is not default. To change the visual settings, go to configuration menu. From here, you want to click on visuals and adjust it according to how you want it to be. So let's say you've already adjusted your visual settings. From here, we want to put down where exactly this place is going to go. So from here, you want to go to schematic placements and configure your schematic in question. In this case, it'll be Key Core Stone generator. From there, you can move it on all 3 axes. So in this case, we're going to shift it towards us using the x-axis, then push it back using the z-axis. Then you want to make sure that the entire thing is exactly where you want to place it. In this case, we want to push it back just once. And just to reiterate, in order to adjust the Litematica file, depend on left or right clicking. It'll tell you in the GUI, but just in case, the left click will increase it, while the right clicking will decrease it. Now, if you look at this thing, right now it's rotated in the wrong direction. In order to rotate it, go back to schematic placements, configure, and rotate. In this case, we're going to be rotating 90 degrees clockwise. Now, the hologram itself is going to shift, in which case you're going to have to remove it using the same methods as before. All we're going to do is press M again, go to schematic placements, configure, and then move it over on the x-axis to where we want it to be. And I think we are good. Actually, we're going to push it over just one more. That way it's in line with this. Now we're going to check the back to make sure it's in line. We have enough space to move it back one. We're going to do just that. And there we go. Now it's exactly where we want it to be. Now if you open up the Litematica GUI, go to schematic placements and then press configure, you'll notice that there's a button here that's called materials list. Click on that and it'll tell you all the different materials that you're going to need, which is going to help you a lot when it comes to building because it'll tell you exactly what you're missing. Now granted, some of the blocks you could replace because in this case, glass is just a building material. For the most part, the materials list will give you a preview of exactly what you're going to be using, what you're going to be needing, and how you're going to use it. So let's go gather our things and we'll port back here in a moment. Phase 2. Okay, now that we set up this beacon and collected the materials that we're going to be using, I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to use Litematica level by level so that we can build this block by block. So open up your Litematica GUI by pressing M. Then from here, go to configuration menu. On the right, you'll see that there's going to be an option called render layers. And in render layers, you'll see that there's going to be a layers option. From here, you want to set it to all below. And the lowest level that we're going to be looking at is where we're standing. So in this case, it's going to be 66. Now we can see the bottommost layer of the schematic. So grab your blocks and begin putting it down. So to build this cobblestone farm, we just follow the directions, so then these hoppers going forward on both sides, then put down glass on the side as indicated. Then from here, go back to configuration menus and the renders layer, and then increase it by 1. So now we see the next level. So let's grab all the other stuff that we're going to need for this level. Then from here, we're going to put down in an alternate fashion composters and barrels. And we do that on the other side as well. So composter, barrel, composter, barrel. Then on the outermost, we want to point the hopper into it. On the other side, point the hopper into the barrel. And keep doing that until all the barrels are taken into account. Then from over here, on the corner most, you want to put down redstone. And then right next to it, a comparator. Switching the comparator to subtraction. Then grab your repeaters and put them on max delay. And on the other side, put down your redstone. Then from here, right next to the redstone, on the back side, put down a glass block, 3 far. Then put down glass right in front of that, 1 right next to that. Finally, put down your building material right next to that, so that when this redstone repeater pulses, it'll power this block and thus send it all the way back. So put this back over here, building material right next to it, put a lever right next to it, and then make a square glass area right next to that with more glass behind this so that it completely closes it up like such. Then on the other side, put down another square glass, and on one side, put down an additional glass. Then you want to go all the way on the other side, put down 6 in total on the front side, and then fill in the inside with more glass. So from here, go back to configuration menu, increase it by 1. So now it's at 68. The shortcut I use to do this is page 1, which will allow me to increase or decrease. So make sure that your hotkeys, which you could find in the configuration menu, is set to the way that you want it. Because for me, I just use page up and page down. Let's increase the Y level 1 so we can see the next layer. Using Litematica and its properties, and learning how to move the Y level up, we now constructed this entire thing, more or less block by block. For those that want an actual proper block by block tutorial, please leave a comment below. But for all intents and purposes, there you go. That's how we built ourselves a stone generator. Now when you're done with your schematic file, open up the Litematica GUI pressing M, go to loaded schematics, and then press unload. And there you go. You are completely done using the Litematic mod for now. So now that we built it, and because we need a lot of stone for the future build, let's go ahead, turn this machine on, and go harvest us a lot of stone. I'm excited. Okay, let's turn this off and go check on how much stone we got. Oh, wow. We got a bunch of stone already. Almost a double chest worth. This is going to be so useful for the rest of the components that we need for the storage facility.